crimes are divided up into felonies and misdemeanors, and sort of the dividing line across the nation is the answer to the question, how much time could you potentially do in a prison cell? Well, if it's 1 year or more, you're talking a felony. If it's less than 1 year, you're talking about a misdemeanor. And in Arizona, 6 months is the most time you can serve on the most serious of our misdemeanors. So there's a difference between felonies and misdemeanors. Taking that assault I just described, all 3 versions of those are misdemeanors here in Arizona. If you want to elevate that to a felony, that's pretty easy to do. There are many different ways to elevate it to a felony. One way is using a firearm. If you scare somebody, you pulled out your firearm, and you scare somebody, causing them to think that they're about to suffer an imminent physical injury, that's an aggravated assault with a firearm. Just because you pulled out your firearm when you were not authorized to do so, when it was unreasonable. And what's unreasonable? Well, when you pulled it out when somebody else was not presenting an imminent threat of death or serious physical injury. That's when you get to use deadly physical force. If there's an imminent threat of death or serious physical injury. Now, different states are going to define that differently, but you can imagine a serious physical injury is more than sort of redness on your face, maybe more than even a black and blue eye. You're talking broken bones. You're talking an injury that may alter the course of your life going forward, even temporarily. You should know the trend in considering a serious physical injury is sort of less serious and less serious all the time. How do you avoid this? Keep your hands off of other people. Be very conservative in terms of using force. But as a general rule, if you want to use or threaten to use, like pulling out a firearm, threaten to use deadly physical force, you better be reacting to an imminent threat of death or serious physical injury. Otherwise, you're acting unreasonably. How else can you get that misdemeanor assault up to a felony assault? There's lots of different ways. If you change that physical injury into a serious physical injury, now you intentionally or recklessly cause not just an ordinary physical injury, but a serious physical injury. That's an automatic ticket to the felony world. Okay? There are lots of other ways. If you commit a felony after entering somebody's home, enter someone's home with the intent to commit an assault, you're generally looking at a felony. If you're an adult and you beat up a kid, you're looking at a felony. If you injure somebody who is substantially incapable of resisting, right? Imagine a sort of a barroom situation and your buddy gets into a fight and he beats up someone else and now they're on the floor sort of recovering, and on the way out the door you kick them. Where that might have been an ordinary misdemeanor assault because they were substantially incapable of resisting or incapacitated in some way, lots of states will hold that as a felony aggravated assault. So those are some of the ways that you get up to the aggravated assault world. Also, you know, some of you guys will be familiar with orders of protections, or sometimes called injunctions against harassment. Slightly different situation here in Arizona, but you're talking about a restraining order that says don't contact, don't touch, don't come near, whatever. If you commit an assault in violation of one of those, you're generally looking at a felony as well. So you got to be very careful and act reasonably.